Could you talk a little bit more about the process of focusing towards the future in the kind of day-to-day movement through our day?
It's a wonderful question, most important question in light of where we all are together, because we say, no matter what your question is, go to the vortex.
Right.
That's our answer for everything. Go to the vortex. Go to the vortex, because in the vortex is the solution, in the vortex is the answer, in the vortex is you, and in the vortex you feel good. So go to the vortex. And so this question is, how?
Right.
How do I go to the vortex? And we say, well, the first thing has already been accomplished. If you accept the reality of this vibrational reality, if you accept the reality of it, and you are willing to understand yourself in relationship to it, then you can tell by the way you feel whether in any moment, which is where all your power is, right now, right now, right now, right now. In other words, you wake up 7 hours later, and even though the clock said a different time than it did at the same time yesterday, it was still now. Right. Now. Even though you're awake and on the other side of the world they may be asleep, it's still now. Now is this juncture where you meet you. It's where the blending, better or not so good, the allowing of the blending or the resisting of the blending is happening. So if in this powerful now you are aware of the existence of this vibrational reality, and aware because you are aware of how you feel, of your relationship to it, now you're on the path of deliberate creating. So now let's just back that up a little bit and say it in a more precise way. So this vibrational reality includes all that I've become. And me, the thinker who's asking these questions right now, is standing in some vibrational proximity to it. And I'm doing my best not to think of myself as the haver and the doer and the person and the personality and the relative to someone else. I'm doing my best to let my feeling of relativity be to who I've become in relationship or comparison to who I'm letting myself be right now. So I am keenly aware of the way I feel. Now, those are really good words. Keenly aware of the way I feel. Because if I'm keenly aware of the way I feel, so let's talk about some feelings you might be having. If I'm keenly aware of the way I feel, now my guidance system is alive, and now and only now my guidance system is perceived consciously by me, and now and only now do I have the ability to move in the direction of who I really am. So as you stand here in your physical now, and you reach for feelings, let's say that, and let's, for just a moment, let's separate something that's happened. In other words, somebody didn't come and say something to you. Something didn't just happen. You're just being in a moment. You're just being the juncture of you and you in a moment. And let's say right now you feel bored. Bored. You feel bored. Just feel bored. Sort of just lethargic, disinterested, bored. So now, if you've decided to do what you're asking to do in your question, then that awareness of that boredom is really key, because that means whatever it is I've been thinking really recently, in the last minute, right, what I've been pondering is off from the way Source sees this moment. So I was thinking how I don't really like where I am, or I was thinking that it's sort of a dreary day, or I was thinking that I'm not really happy with this restaurant I'm eating in, or in other words, you can pinpoint every time the feeling with the thought that caused the alignment or not. So then, as we began today, rather than just accepting the feeling, you say, I'm going to be forward feeling. Okay. Because I haven't been forward feeling just now. I was taking it as it came. I was reactively feeling. I was responding. I wasn't proactively feeling. I wasn't deliberately feeling. I was responding. So now you say, I'm going to feel my way forward. And so feeling forward means I like that feeling of security. I like a feeling of, now security was the wrong word in this example because you're bored.
Right.
And in boredom, there is a rocket of interest. So the forward feeling is, I love the feeling of interest. I love feeling myself feel eager about things. I love the feeling of clicking. I love the feeling of resonance. I love the feeling of enthusiasm. I love the feeling of passion. I love the feeling of. So just now, you were forward feeling. Mm-hmm. Now let's say you're just having a moment, a reactive moment, because you weren't deliberately thinking, and you can't deliberately think every moment. In other words, it's just not normal. So you're having a reactive moment, and the reactive moment you feel anger, mm-hmm. and you feel it, and you acknowledge that you feel anger, and then you acknowledge that the feeling of anger is because of a thought you were just thinking, and then you identify the thought you were thinking. And the thought you were thinking was, this person with whom I'm co-creating was not honoring the agreement that I thought we had in place. This person is self-interested and not keeping the agreement, not doing what we agreed. And I'm having a reactive, emotional response. But I want to be forward feeling. And when my awareness of that happened, I launched an equivalent solution. Mm-hmm. So I like the feeling of, now you're forward feeling, I like the feeling of co-creation working. I like the feeling of harmony. I love the feeling of respect. I love the feeling of things working out. I love the feeling of win-win. I love the feeling of cooperation. I love the feeling of communication. I love the feeling of mutual minds working together and coming up with even better ideas. I like the idea of benefit all the way around. Forward feeling. You see what we're getting at? Yeah. Mm-hmm. In other words, so now you're having a moment, a reactive moment. Mm-hmm. A child just bounced through your campground with her little ponytail flying and her little shoes lighting up and a smile on her face, and your heart is just singing. You're having a reactive moment. Mm-hmm. You're having a reactive moment, and you stop and you think, I'm having a reactive moment. What am I reacting to? Well, I'm reacting to my thought of that joyful child. Mm-hmm. And now I want to be even more forward thinking. That child could bounce like that her whole life. Mm-hmm. All children of the world could feel that way. Mm-hmm. It is so exhilarating to see the richness of life. What an incredible planet we live on, where we have the benefit of this stability. What a magnificent campground this is that keeps itself open and ready for business and beautiful. Look at the flowers and all of the fall decorations and all of the playground equipment and all of the things that just enhance the lives of these little kids. Look at the horseshoe throwing place, and look at the baseball diamond, and look at the duck pond, and look at this magnificent place that is so and just milk it, just milk this moment. I love my life. I love my world. I love that child. I love my body. I love this moment. I love this life. I love my life. I love that child's life. I love that child's parents. I love that child's sister on that bicycle. I love that dog. I am. You see what we're getting at? In other words, you're just actively feeling forward, always feeling forward, receiving the benefit of the larger part of you that already went there and feels that way. But when you feel forward to it, you find it. In other words, you as humans, you're so naturally empathetic. But you're empathetic in all the wrong places. I feel for you, man. You're singing my song. You want to be forward feeling, you see. And as you're forward feeling, you come into alignment with who you are.
Yeah.
Really good.
Great. Thank you.
Yes, indeed.